Now, how do we know what is happening with the value chain? It's through things like URISA, it's through our professional networks, it is through our diaspora, it is through our research networks, our academic networks, our commercial relationships, but it's also through government networks. But the strongest of all of those, I would say, is our diaspora networks. And by diaspora, I'm not thinking only what people would call Caribbean kith and kin, but I'm thinking of people like where is Wendy? I'm thinking of people like Wendy who are Caribbean-minded, not from the Caribbean originally, but very Caribbean-minded, probably more Caribbean than some of us in this room. And so, knowledge, experience, passion, and networks are going to be key to lifting us, to act as a springboard for us to launch into entrepreneurial activities, which then allows us to reap the biggest benefits from the global value chain. Should we be looking at this incrementally, or should we be looking to make quantum leaps? And this is where I'm going to segue into my little about Tallawah. The Caribbean punches above its weight class in a lot of areas. In sports, our sportsmen and sportswomen punch way above the weight class of the Caribbean. Bahamas, Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados. The world is wondering what the hell is happening in the Caribbean. They send people down here to study yam in Jamaica to see if it can help them. Yeah? So we punch way above our weight class in sports. We punch way above our weight class in music, in entertainment. Who Lets the Dogs Out? It's an American anthem, but it's from the Caribbean. But these are not, I don't know, my son is an entertainer, so when I say this, I'm not disparaging entertainment or sports. But there are higher level intellectual activities that we also need to punch way above our weight class in. And GIS is one of them. The transformation of being average in what we do to making these quantum leaps, to making these Likkle but Tallawah statements, I think is going to come from leadership in our business sector, our governmental sector, in our communities, churches, in professional societies like this, to inspire us to punch above our weight class. We have designed in the Computer Society what we call a Likkle but Tallawah framework. It has since been adopted by the Planning Institute of Jamaica to be pushed through schools as a way of encouraging school kids to take the message of the Vision 30 statement of the government and carry it into their homes. So it's like a little virus, eh? So they push it in schools, schools pick up the message, take it to their parents, and hopefully there will be a viral spread. And Likkle, we have pulled out to start with leadership, to then, that's the L, to then speak to inclusiveness, innovation, and integrity for the I, to speak to knowledge, as we mentioned earlier, to speak to kith and kin, Caribbean and Caribbean-minded persons, to speak to love, and to speak to empowerment, education, and entrepreneurship. That is what we need to push up this ramp. That's what we need to punch above our weight class in intellectual pursuits, as we have been doing in the traditional sports and in entertainment. But you have to be confident, eh? In the face of all sorts of challenges, you have to know that you can do it. So the Caribbean GIS professional, your success will depend on your knowledge, which URISA and forums like URISA are eminently qualified to bring to you. It will depend on your experience. And I encourage you to leverage the experience of your tutors, leverage the experience of your colleagues, Leverage the experience of the exhibitors as you participate through the conference. It will depend on network and relationships. Build those today. I hear there's a great networking activity later tonight. Use it up. And it depends on your passion as well. And I'm hoping through my little bit that we will put some extra fire in you through the Likkle but Tallawah. Now, what are some of the challenges of the GIS, Caribbean GIS professional? We are a diverse group. We come to GIS from many areas, from land surveying, planning, water resource management, environmental management, etc., etc., etc. And then we participate in various industrial sectors. So we come to it at one level, and then we go into various industries and sectors. One of my area of study is called ambidexterity. In GIS, we have to be what I would call polydexterity. You have to know about health, you have to know about water resources, you have to know about engineering, you have to know about surveying. So you come to it with one set of skills and you have to parlay it into many areas. Professional societies like URISA helps us with what I call building standards to properly bridge these diversities. So that although we have a diverse group, we speak with one voice when it comes on to our standards, when it comes on to our continuous professional development, thinking, and so on. In the Caribbean, however, there's a gap, and Valerie mentioned whatever we call it. The gap is that at the local level, we have local associations, such as ISTT or LSAJ in Jamaica. At the international side, we have participation in URISA, RICS, FIG, CASTLE, and so on, GSDI. But how active have we been on the regional associations? I'm a member of two associations that I just put up here. CAS, the Caribbean Academy of Sciences, and the CSF, the Caribbean Science Foundation, which was launched in Port of Spain around a month ago. And these are going to be dynamic, operating frequently Caribbean organizations. I put it to you that maybe we need to be looking at something like that for the Caribbean. What would we call it? The Caribbean Association of Social Sciences. CAS doesn't sound like a name that you'd want behind your name. Or if you're a member of the Caribbean Association of Social Sciences and a member of CAS, the designation would be CAS. I'm suggesting the Caribbean Association of Land Managers. CALM. I like the name. So recapping the key messages. Societies depend on businesses, private and public, to create wealth. These businesses need VRI or resources and capabilities to create new wealth in a sustainable fashion. People with knowledge, ideas, creativity, and innovation brings a lot of what is needed at the core to build sustainable businesses. The Caribbean can punch above its weight class, not just in, let me say it, non-intellectual pursuits like sports and entertainment, but also in intellectual pursuits. We need to strengthen our external networks of Caribbean and Caribbean-minded persons, but also we need to grow and strengthen our internal networks of professionals in a more collective and dynamic fashion, and to share the wisdom that is resident in the Caribbean in things like GIS. Success begins with believing in yourself, building your own capabilities, and being calm. And you may be Likkle, but you can be Tallawah. And with that, I thank you for, there's actually supposed to be a musical piece here. I'm not sure what's happening. That's it.
Well, let's thank Silburn again for that most interesting keynote address. So thanks again, Silburn.